Hello, welcome everyone to our every Wednesday Attraction and Action Mastermind. Now, this format is really designed to allow you to extract as much information as possible. At the same time, it's here so that you can add as much value to our organization as you possibly can as well. So, if you thought you were just going to show up, turn your camera off, take some notes, maybe listen to a podcast while this is going on, you're probably on the wrong call. See, I want everybody just to actively engage, to participate. In fact, we've got a very special guest today. He's a former Bold coach with Keller Williams. He and I got to work side by side with one another, not only at Keller Williams MAPS coaching, but also MAPS business training, where we took Bold and made it for all businesses outside of real estate, trained a ton of people, and he was instrumental in making that happen. And one of the Bold laws was how you participate here is how you participate everywhere. So I really want you to plug in today, okay? Just really engage with us. Don't worry about that inner dialogue, that inner voice that I happen to call MIC, M-I-C. It's an acronym for my inner cynic. Like when I ask you to participate, you say, oh, don't open your mouth. Don't say anything. You might look stupid. People might judge you. See, Mick wants you to stay small. You recognize that, yet I'm going to encourage you guys to raise your hands today, ask your questions. I'm going to be interviewing Russ Colliau, and Russ is going to just pour into you guys. He's going to improve your knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits, yet it's incumbent upon you to raise your hand, ask questions. In fact, how you do that, just move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen. You'll see a little reactions icon. If you click on that, you're going to see a little bar there that says raise hand. Then you can raise your hand. I'll definitely see it, and we'll definitely get to you, your questions or agenda topics that you'd like to discuss. So Russ, welcome to our mastermind today. We should have at least a couple hundred people on here by the time we get rolling. And you just have an opportunity right now to just find that fulfillment by improving the knowledge of everybody in this call. So welcome, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about Russ, and take it away.
Awesome, I got it. And you guys hearing me okay? Are you hearing me okay, Sean? All right,
Yes,
just
sir.
making sure all my technology's doing what it should for you guys. So yeah, Russ Colliau was one of the Bold coaches over at Keller Williams International, and 2 years ago walked away and came over here to EXP to start brand new as a brand new agent. Mike Kiter, great to see you doing the same thing. So welcome to the party. That being said, a little background on me. First of all, MIC, Sean. Man, I thought you were going to go with monkey in charge, because we all have that monkey in charge running between our ears. And so today, I want to give you some concrete steps, share with you exactly what's working in my world. I am doing this at a high level. I'm coaching and training this at a high level and having some really darn good success. And at the same time, you guys got to take action. The biggest things I'm seeing out there is agents just aren't doing the work, whether it's on real estate production or recruiting. And I love the word recruiting. It means you're willing to take a stand for somebody stronger than they take a stand for themselves. So that's why I use it. And so the other piece I want to put out there today, Sean, that we may want to talk about is accountability. Because accountability is the breakfast of champions that gets you to do the activities that you should. So just to let you guys know, I've been here a total of 2 years. I had some very unique challenges the first year with our friends over at the Bid Red Box and all their attorneys. And once I got clear of that, I got into this activity right now. And you'll see me looking to the right because I have my wealth chart right here. How many of you have a wealth chart? I see a few hands up, yet I don't see them all. If you're serious about this, and I'll give you the 5 steps, this is a piece of it. 17 FLQAs, 35 FLAs, 135 in the group, and I will break 6 figures income my second full year at EXP. So just in the rev share piece, and that's just getting the ball going.
Yeah,
and
Russ,
so let me lay out for you before we Q&A, Sean, my 5 steps of agent attraction. This is what I teach everybody to do. And if you just follow this model consistently, you're going to have great success. Step 1, build a list, a big list, a monster list of everybody you would like to be in business with, minimum of 100 people. Add to it every single day. I literally was driving down the road a week ago. Somebody went by me with a real estate label on their car. I called them. They just came on board yesterday. random call. So make a list. Step 2, have your wealth chart, have it built up, be paying attention to it, use it. Step 3, have conversations. Go figure. Kind of the same thing we do in real estate, right? And by the way, you might want to write this down. You are paid in direct proportion to the number of conversations you have. Period. So we do step 3, have conversations, for the sole purpose of step 4, sharing the models. So step 3 is all about setting appointments. For step 4, share the models. And we're either going to share the models, highest and best way is live, sitting down belly to belly, having a conversation. Second best is via Zoom. So I do a lot of Zooms sharing the models. And step 3, which we do on very, 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 very rare occasions, is sending a video. Send and chase. Don't do it. It's horrible. And yet once in a great while, I'm not going to say no, not never. Once in a while, maybe. And then if that doesn't get them converted, you stay in step 5, which is third-party validation calls, getting them to meet other people in your team, other people in the organization, other people across from you in another organization. We're all in this together. We're all helping each other. You follow those 5, you do it consistently, and you will have success. Sean, what do you got?
A couple of things that you had mentioned, and you're at 135 in total organization. Is that right?
Correct.
See, I'm so excited for you, Russ, because once you hit that number, you guys, around 125, all of a sudden it takes a life of its own. It really does. And it is a total pain in the ass to go from 0 to 125. There's no way to say it. It is hard. It is difficult. And you're going to question yourself day after day after day as you grow to that 125. Yet once you get to 125, guys, something magical happens. It takes a life of its own. You can't stop it from growing, even if you wanted to. I mean, I opened up my RevShare dashboard the other day, and I recognized that 9 people per day, Monday through Sunday, are aligning with the organization per day. And I don't know any of them. See, what you have to do, though, you have to see, I've never met anybody who's reached the pinnacle of a mountain, who climbed to the very tip top, who turned around and said, man, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. See, nor were they picked up by somebody and just placed up there. You understand? It's hard work to get to the top, yet that top for you is going to be around 125 agents. And all of a sudden, you guys, and I want you to just get in touch with those emotions. Just recognize when you open your dashboard and you see, 200 plus people aligned with your organization over the course of the last 30 days, and you don't know any of them. And yet you know that when they sell a house and pay EXP the 20%, that your family gets paid, which, by the way, is inheritable. It's transferable in the event of your surmise, right? I mean, that's going to feel good. So get in touch with those emotions. That emotion is what's going to make you take action. So Russ, congratulations on getting to the 135, because, man, you are in for a major ride.
I'm having some great momentum already, and we can talk about some of those pieces, how we got there, though. I want to go back to this. It's hard work. Yes, getting from 0 to 100 is what I label out. It is hard work. Yet hard work is a real estate agent, meaning having conversations. You're not digging ditches. You're not putting on roofs. You're talking to people. And so we have it pretty darn easy if we just get into the reality that all of the resistance is just between our ears. It's our own stories that are getting in the way, where we think somebody's going to respond negatively, so we won't call them. Or, Sean, I got to ask you, how many people along the way that have joined EXP that you thought about, yet you didn't maintain the conversation and the relationship? I'm looking at Mike Kiter and I'm kicking myself in the butt 6 ways to Sunday. I reached out to Mike. We had a conversation, didn't we? And I failed to maintain the relationship, and that's on me. So now I get to do it going forward with him in the organization. Not my organization, just the EXP organization.
Yeah,
it happens.
So many people, Russ. I got to tell you, there's a gal that I coached down in Florida. She recently made a shift from Weichert over to Compass, and she was just enthralled with Compass. She loved Compass. Well, we stopped coaching together. She said, I'll come back to you. I just have to implement everything that you've taught me. I'll come back to you in about 6 months. And she had just moved to Compass. And I knew for a fact there's no way on earth she's going to align with EXP. Then she reaches back out to me and she says, okay, I'm ready to start coaching again, Sean. Oh, and by the way, I joined EXP.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about what that looks like, because I have got 25 to 30 people in the next month that are coming on board as a direct result of my conversations. I've got 2 teams of approximately 10 and a whole lot of individuals up here on my wealth chart. So let's just give you an example of what this looks like, because this is one literally happened today. Before this call, I had the conversation. That's the last one in this string. May 10th, 2021. Cold called Eric. Great call. Very open. Just too busy right now. Happy to stay in conversation. June 4th, 2010. Still is coming at him at a high level. He's really busy. He has a team. He's just too busy. September 22nd, 2021. Great call. He has personal and business big issues going on. Sounds like it's more the personal, still open to staying in conversation. November 22nd, 2021, left a message. December 3rd, 2021, left a message. January 17th, 22, he's now doing real estate as a secondary gig. He's doing commercial construction sales, commercial roofing and waterproofing. April 29, 2022, he's now looking to have a real estate partner take over his real estate business. He hasn't found one yet. He's still working the construction, nothing else going on. June 29th, 2022, in the middle of a meeting, we'll call back, which he didn't call back. July 7th, 22, working on a partnership with 3 to 4 other people, wrapping up something, had to go. I just dropped a nugget about our program and our platform, how it might be the best thing for his new group. July 15th, 2022, main partner would be his broker, who's also a home inspector, aligned with me, Sean. Broker is an easygoing guy, wants call next week. August 2nd, 2022, left a message, invited to build. August 12th, 2022. Hadn't talked to his partner yet. He'll call me back in an hour. He never did. August 17th, 2022. Partner's name is Scott. I finally got that piece. And he still hasn't reached out to Scott. September 1, 22, left a message. October 21st, left a message. October 22nd, his broker owner partner is now open to a meeting first. So we scheduled a Zoom. Today, great conversation with Eric and his partner. Turned into a call, not a Zoom. He just wanted to get to know who I was and a little bit about what was going on at EXP. He's now open and excited to see all the models, and we've set an appointment for next Thursday to Zoom the models. There are 18 contacts over about a year and 5 months to get it, what is going to turn into a 10 to 12 person boutique onto the EXP platform. Are you willing to build that relationship? That's what I did over 18 contacts. We're about instant gratification in the real estate space. We talk to somebody, we want business now. And that is not how this game is played at a high level. Build the relationships, stay in conversation. And like Sean's telling me, and I know it's the case, that's going to get that snowball going. And once I break that 125 like I have, man, it's going to be a fun ride, isn't it, Sean?
That's undoubtedly. Russ, you're in for a really fun ride, no doubt about that. And you think, well, Russ, that's an awful lot of follow-up. Is it worth it? You know, I've done the math. Here's a good example. Let's take our buddy Brent Gove, which, by the way, Russ, thank you for introducing him to me so many years ago. That's flourished into a wonderful relationship.
I used to do Brent Gove's home inspections. I've known him for like 25 years. It's amazing how this company's a family. So
if I took Brent Gove's revenue share organization, now bear with me, I'm going to do some simple math, okay? I'm going to take the FLQAs that he's got, and then I'm going to multiply that by 12 months. For every frontline qualifying agent that our friend Brent Gove has, that brings in about $306,000 per year. So is it worth the 25 plus follow-up conversations? What do you think, Russ? Is it worth it?
Hey, I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. And here's the fun part for everybody here. I don't believe for a second that you don't desire to do this. I think maybe sometimes you're just missing a system. You see, I'm reading right off a system that I'm using, that I'm dancing with every day, a great CRM, one of the many tools that are available out there, and I'm dancing with it every day. And that's making the difference. That's building the momentum, the consistency of time on task over time. And yeah, that's all Brent's done. I mean, and he just wasn't a strong enough sales guy, Sean, because he talked to me 5 years ago about this.
Yep.
And I didn't come. I hung out with you instead.
It's good stuff, Russ. Good stuff. All right. So what was number 5? I saw that come up and I failed to take the note. What was number 5 on your list?
Number 5 is the third-party validation conversations.
Mhm.
When I get done with someone and they're not ready to come for whatever reason, after we've gone through and shared the models, we've zoomed the models or we've sat down and talked, then I'll call them and say, you know what? Hey, I was talking to my good buddy, Sean Kokoska. I would love for you to meet him. He's got incredible energy. He's a dynamo. He's coached the coaches in real estate. And you got to meet this guy. He's going to give you just some great nuggets on how to build your real estate business. And we connect them up. And there's a little EXP bit in that conversation. And maybe Sean has a better chance of converting. And then Sean doesn't do it. It's just Sean can't get him over the finish line. Great. I want you to meet my buddy Brent Gove. I want you to meet my buddy Gene Frederick. I want you to meet Fee Gentry. You just keep going. Everybody in this company will help you. How many, by show of hands, have asked someone this week for help with recruiting? Of course, Mike Kiter. Of course you are. And yet I'm not seeing a lot of others. How many? I saw somebody, by the way, I saw a text come by today. I think it's from this room. And so, gosh darn it, yes, I'm willing to help. Sean reached out to, what time did you reach out to me yesterday, Sean?
Tim Ventura did, actually. What time was that?
It was about 4:45 yesterday afternoon. Hey, will you come in and help the people in my organization? Will you help our team grow and get motivated? And it was absolutely. And rearrange the schedule to make this work today at 11 o'clock.
Russ, thank you for doing that, but I really appreciate it. Now, somebody did ask a question in the chat. Why don't you like sharing video? Talk to me.
Because share and chase has a horribly low return on investment of time. Brent Gove tracks his numbers. By the way, I learned from Brent. I've got the spreadsheet. I'm tracking data from day one I came on as well. And he had a less than 25% conversion rate on share and chase. Whereas meeting live was almost 80% and doing Zoom was 60+% conversion rates. So people will say, oh yeah, just send me a video because they want to get off the phone with you. And now you're chasing and chasing. And if you're chasing somebody and they're not responding, in fact, I'm going to give you a nugget for that today. It's one of my favorites. I'll give you all, not everybody has this nugget, so you're going to want to write it down. Anyway, chasing and they don't respond, chasing and they don't respond. What does that do to your attitude? What's it do to your energy? What does it do to your feelings about recruiting? I suspect some of you maybe had that, and so you've gotten discouraged. So I will tell you, someone that I have called, left voicemails, sent texts, sent video texts, and DM'd on social media. I've hit through all different communication channels and they haven't responded. Here is my last text. I love calling, you hate answering. 50% of the time, I love calling, you hate answering gets a response. Because now they feel like a heel that they haven't stayed in their part of the relationship. So just throwing that nugget out there. It's a lot of fun, create some interesting conversations. And yeah, some people you have to release back to the universe. And they're not part of your tribe.
That's good stuff.
What else you got? Alicia's got her hand up, Sean.
Alicia, go ahead and unmute yourself. Ask your question. Thanks for being so patient.
Hi. I love that you guys are both speaking in regards to this. I just wanted to caveat that and say that exact text, I don't know where I heard it before, helped me land one of the top 10 agent teams here in Phoenix. So I will contest that it got work.
Alicia, what is that? Tell everybody. What is it? Come on.
The text that he just said.
No, it's winning. It's winning. You're winning.
No, it's winning.
I love it. Yeah, I got this from John Mendelson. And I've used this so many times, just this little meme, awkward silence. And it's this guy in the dark and he's kind of pushing his eyes back and forth, right? That gets a response every time, you guys, seriously, every time.
Hey, will you forward? I'm asking for help, Sean. Will you send me that via text?
I'll do it right now, Russ.
Awesome, brother.
My pleasure, of course. Right
Hey
on.
guys, Doug here. Question, Tony and I, we're just starting. I've been with EXP for 2.5 years and was focused on rebuilding after the demic. But what is your first conversation when you reach out to people? What is that initial, I guess it would be step one, making the call, but what do you say? What is your opening line? How do you get to step two?
This will be fun for us too, because Sean and I have different approaches. This first question, is this someone we know or a cold call? Because those are two different conversations. So I'll just go with someone we know. I will follow the Ford sandwich model, same thing I teach on working our database on the real estate side. So that is salutation, Ford question, meet in the middle, Ford question, exit. Those are the 5 steps. And Ford stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, Dream. So I'll call, I will say, hi, Bob. Hey, it's Russ Colliau. We haven't talked in a while. Tell me what's going on in your world. Family, occupation. I'm going FO, family, occupation question. And I'll inquire and see what's going on with him. And after answered, I might let a little awkward silence sit to see if he'll ask me a question. And if not, I'll bring another Ford question to it. At some point, I want them to inquire about me. If they don't ever inquire about me, then I am out of that conversation after 3 Ford questions, and I'll put them on a follow-up 90 days later. When they do inquire about me, though, the conversation is, in essence, hey, it's been a crazy couple of years with the pandemic and all the changes and real estate up and down. And even with all of that, I made a significant change over to EXP Realty as my brokerage platform. I'm dying to know, what have you heard about EXP Realty? That is my magic question. I'm dying to know, what have you heard about EXP Realty? Now, I want you to unleash your drunk monkeys. Let that inner monkey in charge, that's my new one, Sean, thank you. Let it go. What kind of things might they say?
Well, multi-level marketing, it's a cult. Gosh, I could go on.
Oh, keep going. Yeah. What else? What else have you heard, Doug?
Crap. Yeah, it's multi-level marketing and only the people at the top are getting rich. It's a cult. There's no real broker support. I'm just trying to go off the top of the head what I've heard up here in Shasta County.
And I heard you say crap too. Can we just put all that together and call it crap, Doug?
Yep, we sure can.
So can I ask you a tough question?
Sure.
If that was really the case, do you believe that I would have moved my license there?
No, it's funny is having had my own company for that many years and coming over, I've been telling people just straight up now that we're getting into the rev share part, I totally am I'm a believer. So that's exactly right.
So that, by the way, that's the same question I asked them though.
Yeah.
When they go all negative, when they go all that downside, you inquire more, you keep driving to that negative.
Yep.
And then you ask the powerful question first and foremost, hey, can I ask you a tough question? You'll always get a yes. If that was all really the case, do you truly believe that I would have moved my license over there?
Yep.
And what are they always going to say?
Well,
Because you're now putting them in a place where they either have to throw their friend acquaintance under the bus and say, yeah, you're a shitty person, or they have to acknowledge that that's probably not true. And all of a sudden you might see their gate of change open. And that's one thing I want you all to take away. If their gate of change isn't open, there's no going any farther, and it's okay. Eric's gate of change wasn't open for 16 months. Now the gate of change open and we're having a deeper conversation. Just because the gate
said that, Russ, the gate of change, is it open? Now there's some things you can do to influence that. You can pick that lock, right? By moving them psychologically from positive present to negative present to point out.
You can do the 4 quadrants. And that being said, I'd rather build a relationship before 4 quadranting them and reconnect. If you haven't talked to them in a while, just go with the relationship step first and stay in the relationship. And that's what was happening here with Eric and others.
That's perfect
And
advice,
yes,
Russ. Way to
that's
go.
why, again, Sean and I have different perspectives. Sean, hey, here's what I see, Sean. And I heard it even in the opening today. You are the master of language. You are the master of dialogue. And many people in this room might just say, including yours truly, man, we're not Sean, because he can pick that lock, can he? On every one of us, every time, right out of the gate. You all can do it too. It might just take a second or third conversation. So once you've built a relationship, the lock is a lot easier to pick.
Way to go, Russ. Love that. Cheryl Mobley, over to you.
Hey, yeah. So what I hear a lot is that they're not interested in KW 2.0.
Awesome. So what makes you think this is KW 2.0, Cheryl?
No, I think she said that they're interested in KW 2.0, that they're going to stay
They
with
are
KW.
or
They're
aren't?
They're not. They're not.
Okay. I misunderstood. Thank you, Cheryl.
So I'll
Yeah,
inquire.
they're not interested.
Awesome. What makes you think this is KW 2.0, Cheryl?
You do the same thing that Keller Williams does, and you want to recruit, and you get paid off people you bring in. And I don't want to recruit. I don't want to do any of that. I don't think I just want to sell real estate.
Awesome. Yeah. You know what's amazing about that, Cheryl?
What's amazing?
You are just like 96% of the agents here at EXP. See, that recruiting piece is just optional. Now, why do you think those other 96% are here and happy?
Must be something, but I don't know.
Awesome. So do you consider yourself an open-minded person, Cheryl?
Yes.
So would you be open to learning about those things that have that 96% doing 3 times the production of rheology agents?
Wow. Sure.
Awesome. So, and then schedule the appointment.
But if I said no, I'm not really interested. I just don't like the model. I don't think I'm
What
interested.
about the model don't you like, Cheryl?
I still think there's some push for agent attraction or for recruiting. There's some push for recruiting, and I'm just not interested in that.
Excellent. And so again, if there was a model that didn't have any recruiting, that you could make more money and have more time, would you find that compelling and would you be open to learning about it?
I think I'd be curious. I just don't think it's possible.
Excellent. I appreciate the curiosity. In 1491, the world was flat. Oh my gosh, it was proven. Everybody didn't think there was a possibility, right?
Right.
Could this be your round world moment?
It's possible, I suppose. Sure.
Awesome. So let's talk about it. How's your week next week? What day is the best open day for you?
Tuesday.
And schedule the appointment.
Okay.
The goal of the conversations is just to get the appointment, guys, not to have the argument or discussion there on the call. Get them to the appointment where you've got tools and leverage, including great videos by Sean and others that you can play and then discuss. I saw a hand go up and then it went away, Sean.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hey, Sean, can I say something? I was invited to Brent Gove's Tahoe retreat, and Cheryl, this is what changed my point of view. Is we're up there with about 70 agents, most of them EXP, some not. And the guy that was presenting somewhere in the afternoon said, he started asking and doing this thing, and he goes, who here at EXP is better financially and having a better life right now? And of course, everybody's woo, yay, all Brent energy. He goes, and here's the point that it changed for me, Cheryl. Why don't you want to share that with other agents? That completely, it became not a recruiting issue. It was like, it's such a cool thing that I'm benefiting from. Why wouldn't I want to share that? And I got to tell you, that guy, that line, I don't remember who the hell it was, to be honest with you, but that changed it from a recruiting to, I want to share this thing and help them move forward. And it changed my whole mind. And so now when people call, if I call people and they go, I don't want to be recruited, I'm like, great. I don't want to recruit you. I want to share the best model on the planet with you. Changes everything.
Gotcha.
Excellent, Doug. Way to go. And John Mendelson, he's back. He's got his hand up. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that was me that put my hand up. So because I do a lot of tap rooting, if somebody tells me I'm not a recruiter, I just say, great, I am, and I'm really damn good at it. So if you give me 5 people that you know that are, and I only do capping agents, but give me 5 people that you know, I'll recruit them. I'll put them in your front line. They'll go into my second line. We both double dip. We both win. And that has gotten over so many I'm not a recruiter questions. I don't get a whole lot of objections because of the way that my scripting is. I don't allow them to ask any questions, essentially. And again, my whole point of the call is to get to the first appointment. So we don't really go deep into that at all. But that's gotten me around it plenty of times.
Love it. Way to go, John.
Yeah.
And by the way, that definitely helps with the recruiting, or not recruiting, but retention aspect. When you can take somebody in your frontline, taproot, get them 2 or 3 or 4 agents underneath them, guys, they're not going to leave EXP. They're starting to get that residual, that passive income deposited into their account on over the 22nd of every month, and it's free money. They're like, I'm never leaving EXP. So you think about, well, how do I retain agents? That's a great way to make that happen. And John's got a program that will help you really get in touch with the what to say, the how to say it, the objection handlers, the whole process, right? So you might want to check that out. John, go ahead and post that to the chat if you don't mind.
Will do.
A link to your program.
Will do.
Right on. Okay, other questions for Russ Colliau or others? What agenda topics do you guys want to discuss? Go ahead, Jack.
Sean, quick question. I was wondering if you can share with us I know that you have a rev share projection calculator kind of thing.
Yes.
Where do I find that?
I think I might be able to post it in the chat. I don't know if it'll allow me to upload the Excel document. I've tried this in the past. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So bear with me. I'll just pull it up real fast and share it with the group.
Hey,
Thank
Sean,
you.
is that on any of your website resource pages?
I don't believe that it is. I know that it's part of our Attraction in Action program, where you get access to all of my digital assets. Just make sure I'm going to post this to everyone. Here we go. Hopefully it'll upload. Cross your fingers, guys. Nope.
Wah, wah, wah.
Not going to let me do it. But it is part of the Attraction in Action program. And here's what it looks like, you guys, where you can explain the 7 levels, the amount you earn per level, how to unlock the power of all 7 levels of revenue share, and how the money's actually distributed. And I teach people how to do that in Attraction in Action. What I've learned is the average income to you per agent per month is going to be about $61. The average growth rate of a revenue share organization across the board averages about 10% per month. So if you had 10 agents in your organization, due to your personal recruiting efforts, the recruiting efforts of others, you're going to add on average about 1 agent a month. If you had 100 agents in your group, you had about 10. If you had 1,000 in your group, you had 100. So you can see how this exponentially grows. We know we need to get to at least 40 to unlock all 7 levels of revenue share. Yet I always ask the question, how many months until you can hit 50 frontline qualifying agents? And gang, if you could do just 1 per month, this top section of the pro forma has to do with agent count. You can see you'd end with 12 agents in your frontline, yet how it begins to cascade. And this is the true leverage of this model. You have 25 agents in your organization. You can see the revenue, how that slowly begins to build and cascade. You'd now be making about $1,400 per month, about $7,100 for the year. So compare that to your $16,000 cap. Look at the second year, you end with 24 agents in your frontline, over 100 agents in your organization. You're now earning about $6,500 per month, about $44,000 for the year. Once again, compare that to your $16,000 cap, because thanks to EXP, it's no longer about what you pay to your broker. It's about what your broker is going to pay you. Look at year 3. You'd end with 36 agents in your frontline, 407 agents in your organization. Look at that, over $23,000 per month in wake up money. $171,000 for the year. Look at year 4. You pass that magic number of 40, over 1,200 agents in your organization, about $78,000 per month, about $580,000 for the year, right? Once you hit 50, you don't have to attract another single agent. Your organization would grow to about 3,500 agents, over $200,000 a month, about $1.7 million for the year. Now, this is a really conservative pro forma. I just celebrated my 3rd anniversary with EXP. This suggests that they'd be paying me about, or that I'd have about 407 agents in the organization. Guys, there's over 2,200 now. Suggests that I'd be paid about $23,000 a month. They're paying me a lot more than that. So a really conservative pro forma, yet you can play around with this once you get access to it. Let's say you could get to 50 in 25 months. That'd be the equivalent of 2 agents per month. Let's see what happens after 3 years if you could double up the production. Rather than 23,000 a month, you're now making about 47,000 per month, almost 350,000 for the year after 3 years. So guys, Russ talks about following up with somebody 25, 30 different times to build that relationship and get them to make the decision. Come over to EXP as a frontliner for you. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Now, to me, it's definitely worth it, no doubt about that. Spencer Bond, over to you.
I love it, Sean. That's great. Just a quick question for Russ. I've never heard that Ford question sandwich description. I was just wondering if you could review that.
Absolutely. So FORD stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, Dreams. So those are the 4 categories in essence of questions. And you can write this down. The person who talks the most dominates the conversation. The person who asks the most questions controls the conversation. Which do you want to do? And so we start with a side. By the way, you're already doing this. That's the great thing about this model. It's your natural conversation style. Hey, it's Russ. Salutation step 1. How you doing? Forward question. So family can also include them. The key with this is if you're logging the notes every time you come back to a conversation, you now have something to talk about the next time you call. So I usually go salutation, forward question, F or O, family or occupation, present tense or past tense. That's usually where that goes. When they ask about you, that's the meat in the middle. So that's what you want to accomplish in that conversation. And again, it's question driven. I'm dying to know whether you heard about EXP Realty. My favorite meat in the middle question when I'm doing recruiting. Then on the way out, another forward conversation question. Usually I go recreation or dreams. Hey, you know what? Gosh, it's the end of October. What are your plans to finish out the year? Got anything exciting you're going to be doing? Any plans with the family? So many places you can go. So you're talking to them. You ask this question at step 4, and they say, yeah, I spend the last 2 weeks of the year out of the country. I'm going to the Dominican Republic with my family. Never been there. Going to go to this new resort. When I call them again in January, because it's on a 90-day cycle maximum, what am I going to ask them as my forward question? The first one. How was vacation? How was the Dominican? I've had so many people following this model for both the real estate side and the agent attraction recruiting side tell me how impressed they are with my memory and my care of what's going on in their world because I remember. Well, I remember because I write it down. Nothing wrong with that. And then step 5, get out of the call. You can do this forward sandwich model in 5 to 8 minutes. Which means if you're dialing and going, you can have a good solid 6 conversations an hour easily on agent attraction if you're just hand dialing, and then start doing the math of what it could be like for your business once you know your numbers. By the way, my numbers, I know for every 76 conversations I have an FLA join my organization. I have tracked my numbers. I know that's my conversion right now. And at the end of this year, I'll do a double check. I know it's getting better. That was last year's rate. And yet staying with tracking my numbers and knowing it. So if I want 2 FLAs this week, what have I got to do?
154 conversations.
Boom, check the box, done.
Don't do math in front of people. All right. Tina Flores, over to you.
Tina Flores, yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for being with us today. I had a question. So I actually am a recruiter by trade. Like I've done corporate recruiting, government recruiting. I've done recruiting before real estate. So now that I'm here, I see a lot of different applications and I'm used to using applications, CRMs, applicant tracking systems. And there's like a lot out there, especially when you're sharing the videos. There's the agent builder, there's CRM Grow, and I know that was in the chat as well. I just wanted to see if there's anything that you find more successful to keep it simple but keep it together that helps you succeed to keep everyone in line.
So I have my own white label version, if you will, of AttractZen. I've helped them build that platform. I've got everything that I do automated now in that platform, and through them, it is available to anybody and everybody. Total transparency, I get a piece of that revenue when somebody's on my system. And so if you're interested, my email is russ@russcolliau.com. The spelling is right there in my name on the screen, and I'm happy to hook you up so you can check it out. And if it's a fit, awesome. Here's the key though. What's the best tool for each and every one of you?
The one you use.
Thank you, Cheryl. So here's what I want you to do at a minimum. Open up a contact or create one. Name, email, phone number. Pick up your phone, make a call. Hang up the phone, log the notes of the call, and then set the next appointment of when it's going to be, when you're going to call them again, and then close the contact. It's really that easy. Open, call, log notes, set next call, close file. If you just did that on every conversation in any tool, even an Excel spreadsheet, you'd be light years ahead of everybody else doing this.
And Russ, out of curiosity, what CRM tool do you leverage?
Yeah, for this, it's called Attract Zen. That's the one I'm using, Attract Zen. And I've helped them build it from day one, been involved with them on it, and have really got it. So it does a lot of cool stuff for me in staying in relationship. Most people see a CRM, oh, it's going to do all this emailing and texting and do everything for me. Well, if you're not continuing the conversation dance, all that is wasted.
Okay,
I want
can you
you
spell
guys
that
to-
for us, Russ? I've not heard of Attract. What is it?
Attract Zen, like
Zen. Okay.
Yeah.
Z-E-N. Okay.
Yeah. And again, email me, I can connect you up. It's fairly new in the market, and yet it's been a really powerful tool for me and the folks that I help on this space, and a lot of pretty cool automation.
Awesome, Russ. Well, Russ, thank you so much for taking the time today to just pour into all these wonderful people and helping improve their knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits to really get out there and make that next call happen. And as Russ said, guys, the fortune is in the follow-up. It's about building that relationship and, of course, exposing them to the profound points of differentiation between EXP and all their brokerage models. So we do this every single Wednesday. Russ, before we let them run, any parting thoughts, words of wisdom, anything you want to share with them? Talk to me.
So parting thoughts. And we know about this business, and something that I've been building a presentation around. It's all about the who. It's about the people that you're working with, the people you're attracting, and the people you get to spend time with. What does your circle look like? Sean Kokoza asks me to show up. I'm showing up. Sean, I cannot give enough gratitude. I would not be where I am for my family, for my kids, for everything in my world if it wasn't for Sean taking a stand for me. And I absolutely will never forget who dug the well that my life is drinking out of. You guys all just tap into this man. He'll get you where you want to go. Just raise your hand and ask for help. So love you, brother, and excited to do this anytime. Excited to help you on everything you're doing. You just pick up the phone and call, buddy.
Russ, you're the best, man. Thank you so much for just adding so much value today, bud. That was amazing. 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. Way to go. So Tim, do you want to stick around and answer any questions about the website, the programs for anybody who's here today?
Yeah, no, I would love to. I would love to.
Right on, guys. I'm going to jump to an attraction call myself, and Tim's going to take over, answer any questions that you have about the website, how to download resources, how to get access to the training, the coaching programs, all of that stuff. And feel free to leave, no judgment. But if you have questions for Tim, please stick around and he'll inform you. Tim, I do need the Zoom back in 13 minutes time. So if you could wrap up by the top of the hour, that would be fantastic for us. Again, my hat's off to you, brother. Thank you so much. You did an outstanding job as always.
Thank you. Love you all.
Absolutely.
We'll talk to you in the EXP world. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, everybody, thank you. And let me see. Oh, there goes the numbers. People are bailing out of the conference. Hey, let me give you a quick walkthrough. For everybody who is sticking around, I want to share my screen, and I'm going to do this right now. Here, hang on just a sec.
Hey, Tim, while you're doing that, if anybody does have any questions about the RevShare Builders coaching program that Sean was mentioning that I run, I'm going to be starting another cohort of the program next week. So reach out to me. Having some great results with the people that have been through it. And no pressure, but if anybody wants to find out more, just reach out to me.
Okay, well, so let me do that. Let me put this on share screen and we'll go through all this stuff, man. So for the remainder of folks who are with us, I'm gonna walk you through the Icon Coaching website. So again, if you haven't been here or you haven't been here in a while, the call that you are on right now is the call you're on right now is Attraction in Action Mastermind, right? And so this is every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific or noon Eastern. We have a call on Tuesday. This is for performance coaching. It's the same thing as today's call, except the focus is on performance, and our market is changing, and we are going to be talking more about the changing market there. So go to our website. That is the Accelerated Breakthrough Mastermind. If you're not in that call, I would strongly suggest getting into it. Again, you know, I'm not going to name names. I had one agent call me yesterday and he was in an absolute panic. And he said, my number started dropping a month ago, but I still had listings in my pipeline and I didn't pay attention to it. And he said, now I am out of listings. And he said, this is the market change. And I knew it. I just didn't want to deal with it. Right. So my recommendation to you would be sign up for this Accelerated Breakthrough Mastermind call. The other call that we have, since you guys are with EXP, this will apply as a training tool. So Sean has every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 a.m., same time as this. He has a webinar where he runs through the key recruiting points for EXP, right? And you heard Russ mention some of those today. Sean mentions those frequently on this call. This is the presentation that he actually uses to recruit. And if you sign up for this, we'll also give you a copy of the slide deck that he uses to recruit it. So you can basically memorize, internalize, and customize that. If you're doing a Zoom presentation, you can use that slide deck. And if not, you can use the data that's on it to more effectively recruit, right? Help get more agents into it. So we also have programs I want to pitch you very quickly. Attraction in Action. This program, I'm really excited about it. This is, I would say, if you're going to register in the near future, because the price is going to make a jump. We've been adding substantially to this program. Basically, this is $299 one time. If you've been thinking about it, this would be the time to do it, because that will not stay at that incredibly low price forever. Basically, that's a 4-week program. We walk you through the whole 9 yards. Then the other one is Sean's Accelerated Breakthrough Program, and this is performance training. This is a 16-week program. It's massive, comes with a buyer listing presentation and Leads to Dollars, which is a phone management system. So that's $350 one time. And again, if this is something that you've thought about, this would be the time to jump on that. We are getting pressure to change the price, so we're going to. What I would recommend is, if you're not sure what you can do, if you need advice, if you want suggestions, the guy to talk to is Paul Hellam on our sales team. And Paul, he's been doing this forever, right? So he knows Sean's coaching programs. He also has seen, he has literally talked to thousands of agents, so he knows the whole 9 yards. You can get in touch with Paul. Just click the Join Us button. I'm going to be changing that to a book now, just to make it even more obvious in the next few hours. So schedule a free coaching consultation. Schedule that with Paul. He will work you through the whole darn thing. So we're doing good there on terms of being able to provide you guys with the resources that you need. So that is ours. Again, that's iconcoaching.com. That's our website. Let me see. I'll put this on John's. We'll pitch John a little bit too. This is revsharebuilder.com. Look at John sit up and get, now he's paying attention. John, do you want to give people the bird's eye level?
Yeah, so this entire program is built on recruiting agents you don't know. Because when I got into EXP, I hadn't sold real estate in a couple of years. I didn't know anybody. So my whole background, my whole career of 20 years has been cold calling. And this program is basically built around all that, with the scripting, the appointment process, everything you need to do to attract agents you've never met before. So if anybody's interested, I will again put the information in the chat. No pressure, more than happy to walk anybody through it. If it's right for you, great. If it's not, that's okay too.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you
Dave.
again, sir. So let me see. If you guys have questions, you can do Alt Y on Windows or Option Y on Mac, and that'll raise your hand. I will answer as best I can. I am not a real estate agent. I'm a computer nerd, to be honest, but that was probably obvious already. Simon, go for it, sir. Oh, Simon, you're still muted, sir. There we go.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. My question is, are there any Zoom meetings where we can invite prospective agents to come take a look at it and get a presentation?
Yeah, the Friday call. The Friday call is that's the meeting. And so, yeah, if you want to register to that, you can get, I mean, we will, it's the same link every week. So what you could do is take that link. Another thing that you can do is we have a tool called Add Event, and I can drop in the Add Event to that. And what that does is that lets them schedule a calendar appointment, and that's outside of our system entirely. So if they're your lead and you don't want to share them, and we totally get that, we won't even see them. In fact, you know what? Let me share my screen. I'm going to show you this tool real quick. This is one of my fun toys. There we go. That's the one that we want to use. Okay. So this is if in case you're looking for calendar tools, we use two of them. Let me share these. I get a lot of questions about these. The first one that I would recommend is Calendly. If you're not using this, this is the tool that connects to your schedule, right? And so for instance, I've been booking guests for the last couple of days. It's a pain in the butt. It's like you basically email out to the guest, and yes, they can do it, but they can't do it at this time, or they can't do it on this day, and you got 4 or 5 emails, right? Now, I bet the same thing goes for your real estate appointments and your recruiting calls. It's just a pain to get those scheduled. So what you do is you sign up for Calendly. This thing is $12 a month. We don't make any money off this. I'm just telling you this because it's a good tool. So for about $12 a month, this connects to your calendar system. It works pretty seamlessly with Google Calendars. And what it lets you do is you can give people a page and they can sign up for themselves. Now, if you don't want to use Calendly, Google themselves thought this was useful enough that they're rolling out a version of this as well. I haven't had time to review it yet. I don't remember the name, but you could be aware, like if you have G Suite or anything like that, or Google Workspace, I think they just called it, you have a version of this built in, but Calendly is pretty easy, it's pretty established, and people like it, so it still might just be worth the $12 a month to go with this. So Calendly is for people who want to basically schedule with you, and you don't want to have to do all the back and forth. The other one, Add Event. I'm going to show you this tool. So if you have an appointment, for instance, our Friday call, as Simon was just asking, and you want to share that appointment with a bunch of people, and you don't necessarily know who they are, right? Or something along those lines. What you can do is you can go in here and create an appointment. It puts it on a page, and it lets them click a button and add it to their calendar. So what's in here is actually the appointment. So I would give this to people. In fact, what I'm going to do for Simon is I'm going to paste this into chat right now. If I can find the chat box, which just disappeared on me. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to call this Friday call, and this is in chat. Okay. There we go. So basically, by clicking on that Add Event link, you can then click on Add to Calendar once you're there, and it will let you add this to any of your systems, right? So the advantage to this is if you're doing a recruiting webinar, you're doing any kind of event, anything along those lines, instead of sending out an appointment to a bunch of people, or in some cases you can't, on Facebook, Twitter, things like that, you can't put an appointment on those. What you do is you use this Add Event, and it lets them add it themselves. And this thing is, it's one of those things that you don't need until you need it, and then it's super handy. So
Got it. Thank you.
yes, absolutely, sir.
One more quick question as a follow-up question. After they attend that Zoom meeting, what is the best way to follow up with them? I mean, do we go to our upline sponsor or maybe to our broker? What do you suggest?
Again, I'm not a real estate agent. I mean, that one of the things that I've heard is, and I've heard this from multiple people, is you don't have to necessarily recruit them yourself. If they're interested, you could set them up with your sponsor, as kind of you've mentioned. I would say probably just follow up with them and see how they're feeling about it and see if you can answer any more questions. And then if you decide that they're ready, then send them to your sponsor and they'll recruit them, right? The nice thing about the EXP model is folks like Sean or anybody who's kind of higher in your network level, they've got an incentive, and a lot of them will do that work for you, and that'll help you get started if nothing else.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, let me go to Tina. And Tina, I only have about a minute left. It may spontaneously cut off, which has happened before, but let me do my best.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to, I noticed that Alicia put the same thing, that she had signed up, as did I, for the program, and I have not received anything specifically directed to the program itself. I have been able to access the recordings and get the workbook, that's all printed, but I wanted to know, is there a specific email I should be looking for? Is there action I need to take?
Yeah, no, you should. So you should at the very least, you should get a welcome email, and then for the accelerator breakthrough, you'll get an email on Tuesday, the same day as the mastermind call. And for this one, traction action, you will get an email on Wednesday, the same day as the mastermind call. Tina, if possible, could you email me? It's tim@iconcoaching.com. And let me take a look and see what's going on. It could be going to spam. Actually, I've had 2 people in the last week tell me this, and it was because when they signed up, they had a typo in their email, so it was going the wrong place. So